What's going on, y'all? This is the fifth episode of this White Sox series. We're going to finish the regular season in this one. But before we continue on moving forward, let's just highlight a few things that have gone well or not well or around the league. Louis Bob having a monster season. At some point, we're going to have to think about moving on from him, only because there's just so much value here. And that's kind of the name of the game is asset management and flipping. But not that I want to trade him. I'm not looking to trade him now. But if I'm approached with a pretty good offer, that can supplant, is that a word? I don't know. That can help our pitching staff because Garrett Crochet has been relegated to the bullpen, as you guys know. That would be nice. The other thing I want to note here is the Twins are really good in this save this year. Byron Buxton is going crazy. He's on pace for a 9-WAR season. Royce Lewis is hitting fine. I don't know why I'm highlighting him. They have a ton of injuries, though. But you can see they're the number one offense in the AL and number two pitching in the AL. So that's going to be a tough team to catch. Not that we're going to. We are trying to catch, however, the wild card spot, which we're only 2.5 behind. I think we're going to buy at this deadline if possible. Not that we have a great minor league system to take from. 27th out of 30th. Highlighted by Zachary Grumond, who I'm going to re-scout. I like to always have these guys on high to very high. But, hopefully we can get hot into and after the All-Star break this year. We're at the All-Star teams. We won a series against Boston. We're one game over 500. Something cool of note, the top player is Louis Bob Jr., who got the most All-Star votes of any player this year in the AL, because Ronald Acuna Jr. is a monster. Oh my God, what a player this is. But let's see what other All-Stars we have, if any, or who is having a great year. Unsurprisingly, DeGrom is, wow, he's having a fantastic year. 2.3 ERA, 0.87 whip. It's pretty good. Gosman starting the game. He's having a pretty great year. Who is this? Hyo. No, that's racist probably. Hyo-Won Choi. Is this just G-Man Choi? It is. It's just G-Man Choi. I don't know why his name is Hyo-Won. Okay. Cool. Anyways, yeah, White Sox. Louis Bob. Juan Soto. That's it. That's fine. Although we had 3 last year, if I remember. Look at Matt Brash. What a player. NL. Let's check that out. Max Fried, 14-1. What is with these pitchers getting a lot of wins? Last year we had Yamamoto with 23. Damn, Maximus. That's pretty good from him thus far. Sandy's been pretty good. Yamamoto's having another monster year. Damn, he's so good. Wow, a lot of good pitching in the NL. Nothing like a 5 ERA negative WAR closer for the Cardinals making the All-Star team, huh? Oh my God, they have Jefferson Caro too. I don't think I realized this when I traded our other Caro. Why did they trade? Whoops. They have a lot of catching depth now, I guess. Ellie's having a big year. Austin Riley, Big Thickum's having a big year. Acuna having a big year. PCA, oh my God. Wow, he's on pace for almost 10 WAR. That's pretty crazy. A lot of good years from a lot of fun players. Let's see the standings at the All-Star break, the midway break. The Braves are crushing it. Orioles are crushing it. Twins are crushing it. Cubs are crushing it. Wow, we got a lot of really good teams in this year. Braves look really good. Even without a DH, they've probably scored the most runs in baseball. Yep. That's crazy. The 3 highest scoring offenses are all without DHs. I'm shocked by that. Diamondbacks having a pretty good offensive year. Lawler, Carroll, a lot of fun players to look at. See how the Orioles are playing. Wow, this is just a really good all-around team, kind of like the Orioles in real life, who are about as annoying as any team gets to play against. Jesus, Jackson Holliday's been good. I mean, listen, Yandy's been what they need from him. Santander's been good. O'Hearn's been good-ish. Pardon me. Gunnar, wow, yeah, that's a pretty big fall-off from Gunnar. I don't know. The other crazy fall-off I saw, Vladdy, he was like 5 stars, was he not? 4, maybe not, but this is more real-life Vladdy. League average hitting, not the best. Ladies and gentlemen, it is trade season. We are making a pretty big move. I'm doing what I like to do and trade a bunch of smaller assets for a big asset. Sean Burke is one of them. Well, you're going to be able to see who it is pretty quickly we're trading for, so we'll just get right into that. George Kirby. We're going to get ourselves an ace. I love this player profile. Great control, good home run per 9. BABIP a little high, but hopefully we can rectify that with our infield defense, and he's locked up to a pretty team-friendly deal. It's a pretty large package, I get it, but it's worth it to me. Buck Showalter doesn't like it, but whatever. Wilfred Veras. I think he's a major league player, to be honest. Hopefully he is on Seattle. And we'll go over Seattle and why it might make sense for them. Our 5th round pick from last year, Akil Namala, prospect. Mason Adams, organizational pitching depth. Hunter Owen, another top prospect, first baseman guy, who we just have a bit of a logjam of these guys, and he's underperforming, but his ratings are good enough that they were very interested in him, and I can see why, At his peak, if he fills out and he gets even a little bit of BABIP luck, he's going to be a 30-homer guy, so I can see it. But the big piece to me is Patrick Bailey. 75 framing catchers do not grow on trees. You can see he's already surpassed 5 framing runs this year. Catcher's ERA of 4.27 is a little high, though, but I think that has to do more with our pitching staff than him. But we're going to try and, improve on our pitching staff with George Kirby. You think we're getting a cut here? No, we're making another trade. This one's with the Red Sox. We're going to just fill out that catcher spot. Reese McGuire, captain material, decent catcher, for a first base prospect in Eduardo Herrera, who doesn't look great to me. But, again, I can see why. This is a serviceable major leaguer if he fills out for an old catcher, basically. Well, I'm going to see how much they can retain for us. Nah. Yeah, you can have Mason Barnett. All right, well, they're going to retain 70% of that contract, and we're going to get Reese McGuire as well. So I'll show you how the team shapes up when it's all settled. So here's what the team looks like with those 2 trades, one obviously bigger than the other. Kirby's going to start the first game out of the All-Star break. Hopefully we win that for him. I'm pretty confident he's going to be good here with a good infield defense behind him, which, again, this is not a win-now trade per se. We have him for 6 years, so that's kind of the thought process with him. Soto, you can see over here if we go to our salaries, we're building the core. We're still not paying a ton to anybody. If we can keep this number here below, 175, 200, we're going to be pretty successful. And that's with the goddamn Benintendi contract still on the books. Of course, he's been fine this year, but, not good defensively on the left. Anyways, I did forget to mention the Mariners. Why might they have done this? Well, surplus of pitching and not very much hitting. And their catcher, I'm not high on Cal Raleigh in this game. He's having a terrible season. Been fine defensively, I get, but not been good offensively. They could use catching up. They could use catching help. They've got a decent enough farm system, but it's really the fact that look how much pitching they have already. Castillo, 4-star. Savali, 4-star as well, very good. Brian Wu, 2.5, but this looks like a pretty good pitcher to me. AJ Puck, this is not a good pitcher. This is a reliever. I'm not really sure what they're doing, to be so frank with you. But, Matt Brash, they were using him as a starter, I noticed, for the start of the year, which is a little peculiar to me, but I guess they can do what they want. I don't know. It just seems like a decent enough package for them to have received. And if you disagree, fuck you. Also, it's not that deep. It's a video game. Hopefully we can win in his debut here. Oh, yeah, let me show you the lineup. Sorry. So McGuire is going to be platooning with Nito. We're going to have pretty much everything else the same. You're going to see McGuire hitting 8th. Lefties, you're going to have Wes Clark, who we called up to replace, I cannot remember the name of the man we just traded, Hunter Owen. See, this is another piece for the Mariners. Like, they could use this. I don't know. We'll see. We'll track them. We'll see how that trade goes down. We'll see how it all shapes up. Lefty DH, yeah, Wes Clark you got in there. Righty, no DH. That's basically the same thing. Lefties, where you kind of see a little bit of funkiness. Colson moves to second, and Wes Clark moves to first. But yeah, that's about it. We're at home versus Colorado and Spencer Arrighetti. First game after the All-Star break. First game for George Kirby in a White Sox uniform. So let's see if we can win it. And survey says, as it takes too long. What is happening? We lose. That's a shame. You can see the players, like the fact that Reese McGuire is a captain. So that's good for the locker room. How was Kirby in his debut? 6 innings, 5 runs, all earned, 9 Ks, 2 walks, 3 homers? George! We're not even in Coors. We're in goddamn Southside. Well, that's a shame, but we will keep on keeping on. We're making a weird one. We're making a weird trade here. We're going to get Kyle Schwarber for Harrison Bader, who is not really starting for us, and I'll show you how he's going to be replaced as the 4th outfielder, and Jacob Burke, kind of quad A player. Schwarber is on an expiring contract on a Phillies team that's, I guess, competing for a wild card spot, but he was on the trade block, and you're going to see how we're going to use him, and it's going to be weird. I guess we're going to see how much they can retain. Cool. So there you go. There's that. The other guy who is going to be taking the spot of where Bader was is Michael Ciani, who I just claimed on waivers. So I'm going to set the whole team up, and I'll show you what it looks like after. Well, our guy Super Utility Colson is going to be playing third base now. It's a funny season he's having. He started 53 games at first. He started 16 at second. He started 10 at third. He's been about average everywhere, which, long term, that's what you're going to get from him. His hitting, honestly, has kind of fallen off a little bit, but he's still going to be a ridiculously good player. It's going to push Soto to first, who's been bad there, but not terrible. And Schwarber's going to DH and hit cleanup. I think it just kind of extends our lineup a little bit. Lefties, Schwarber's actually not going to play. We're going to have IKF play at third and Colson still play at first. Except for no DH, Colson's going to play third because Wes Clark, who's DHing versus lefties, is going to come play first. And then here with versus righties, somehow Schwarber's going to play lefties, but this is such a rare occurrence that it's kind of whatever. There have been a couple trades already throughout the league, a lot of big relievers being flipped, which I will cover all of those once they're all done and the trading deadline has passed. For us, though, 38 runs below even, not great, but we're only one game out, and you never know, right? If we can add another pitcher, that would be big. I think our bullpen, it looks better on paper than it is. DL Hall's been bad. Tanner Banks has been whatever. Nardi's been bad. Deacon's been great. Clevenger's been great. Burrow has been good. Jordan Leader's been good. Crochet as a reliever has been really good, which, we knew he was going to be. A lot of mid starting. It's kind of a ragtag group. Kirby actually just threw a great game for us. 8 scoreless with only 1 K, but I will take that. Nastrini, I'm happy with. Davis Martin, kind of whatever. Father Assad, kind of whatever. And JP France, also kind of whatever. So if we can add another starter to that, kind of give us some length there, that would be nice. So we ended up not making any more trades. I did some, looking around, but I was not comfortable giving up an actual prospect I care about for, a starter in a year we might not actually make the playoffs. You can see there were a couple other, fairly notable trades around the league. Ranger Suarez, 3.5-star starter, goes to Chicago. That's not what I meant to click on. Jose Alvarado goes to the Twins. We'll take a look at the Twins because they look kind of monstrous at this point. Gregory Soto goes to Arizona. Hunter Green goes to the Twins as a starter, which is super interesting because he's, better suited to be a reliever in this game. Craig Kimbrell goes to Cincinnati. Aaron Bummer goes to the Twins, another pretty good reliever. Jordan Romano goes to the Reds for LeBaron Jr. Or with LeBaron Jr. And then you can see my absolute wheeling, my absolute dealing. I like to make trades in this game. It's kind of how I build my teams. Anyways, let's take a look at those teams. Why are the Reds buying? That's a good question. I do not know the answer to that. They've got a couple of good pieces at pitching. Nick Lodolo, super fun. Andrew Abbott, super fun. Noted Silver Slugger Award winner, by the way, with no plate appearances last year. I'm going to be really interested to see who wins the pitcher Silver Sluggers in this save moving forward. Also, here's a little side tangent. So remember that number 1 prospect, Travis Bazzana, who looks unreal? Well, again, like Shohei, doesn't really play much defense, so he's not starting. Sorry, this is their lineup. So he doesn't start for them. He's on pace to have 150 games. Like, again, this is a guy who probably should be able to play first base. But again, they have CES, so I don't know. I'm going to let the AI do what the AI wants. But that's silly. The Twins bullpen at this moment in time is bonkers. I was looking at this earlier. Look at this. Jose Alvarado. Yohan Duran. Well, they also got Ryan Presley, I forgot to mention. Yeah. Tommy Kahnle. Phil Bickford, kind of the mid-piece, 9 ERA. Blech. Bummer. Okert's pretty good in this game. Coulomb, who they just acquired as well. They just did a facelift on their bullpen, and they just traded for Hunter Green, who should be a reliever. That's kind of it, though. But they have a bunch of injuries as well. Jorge Alcala. Brock Stewart, who's good in this game. Uber Randy Dobnak. Wow, hell yeah. This is a really good team. Number 1 starters ERA, number 1 offense. If we even make the playoffs, we're probably going to face them as the second wildcard team. Anyways, I also made a claim on waivers. AJ Smith-Shawver. Listen, I understand why is AJ Smith-Shawver on waivers. He's such a top prospect. He's not that good in this game. 40 control, only 60 stuff as a reliever. He's really, to me, just more organizational depth. A lot of that depth is who I make these trades with. Let's look at the Kirby trade, for example. Veros, kind of just depth piece. Burke, depth piece. Namala, okay, I'll give him prospect. Adams, depth piece. Bailey, actual player. Hunter Owen, actual player. So maybe I'm lying, but anyways, yeah, that's kind of why I do all these silly little waiver claims. As look how many players are on waivers now. Wow, I haven't actually looked at this yet. Could we use one Julian Merriweather? I guess I'll have to find out because he looks pretty good. I'm going to spoil that for you. Yeah, the answer is yeah. We're going to claim him. Hopefully he gets accepted and pushed through. Besides that, I'll catch you in a little bit. So some good news, some great news, and some news. AJ Smith-Shawver was claimed on waivers from us by the Royals. Whatever. We successfully did claim Jarrett Julian Merriweather, who's not even a free agent at the end of the year, I don't think. That doesn't seem to make sense to me. But that's a fun claim. Who's going to go down is the question. I will find that. I will figure that out. My guess, honestly, is Jake Diekman. See ya, pal. He is just declining rapidly. It's just not going to be good enough for me. The great news, however, as we move Garrett Clevenger into a pure lefty specialist role, is we are playing very good ball right now, all of a sudden. You'll notice into the All-Star break, or nope, trade deadline, 6-3 win, 7-2 win, and then 6-2, 9-0, and 13-6. That's 5 consecutive. We are 3.5 games up in a playoff position. Bryce Terang's had a 2-homer game and then a 3-walk, 2 stolen base, and a double game, so that's pretty fun. He's starting to come into his own as a White Sox. Kyle Schwarber has hit 2 Newkingtons as a White Sox. It's all going okay. I wouldn't say it's going well. I wouldn't say it's going poorly. But as of now, things are happening wow, Ezekiel Tovar has a 25-game hitting streak. That's not bad. Also, this Tovar contract is kind of fucked. Just $9 million for a good defensive shortstop for who can hit enough. I would be a fan of that, but I don't think we're going to get him, to be honest. Anyways, let's see how Kirby does. His last start was 7 innings, 3 runs. He's got a 3.4 ERA with us thus far. Kirby versus Gausman in the final game of the 4-game Toronto series in Chicago. We win 3-2. Kirby throws 6 innings of 2-run ball. I'm a fan of what he's doing so far. Anyways, yeah, I will bring it back when anything else happens of note. We're bringing it back here as we've unfortunately lost 3 of our last 3. That's a good way of putting it, huh? But what I really wanted to highlight here, what the fuck is this game? The whole thing. 1-0 White Sox in the third. It's 1-0 going bottom 9, where Garrett Crochet unfortunately allows a home run to, I don't even know. Okay, fine. 1-1 after 9. No one scores in the 10th. No one scores in the 11th. Both teams score on the 12th and the 13th and 2 in the 14th. And then the Tigers walk it off in the 15th. What the fuck was that game? I'm speechless. Ian Jabot threw 3 2/3 hitless innings and extras. Okay, dude. That's just one of the crazier games I've ever seen, so I figured I'd show it off. We're playing some better baseball here. After that crazy game, we've won 3 consecutive, but I'm really bringing it back here to show you that Christian Javier just threw a perfect game against the Yankees with 15 strikeouts, 102 game score. Oh my goodness. That's pretty insane. Judge over 3 with 3 Ks. Classic shitter. Yeah. Michael Wacha, that's a tough knock. It's a hard knock loss for him. That was brutal. Anyway, yeah, that's a pretty absurd game from Christian Javier. Bringing it back here on August 25th, a couple updates. You can see Colson Montgomery is day-to-day with a sprained ankle. We have him not playing until then. Edward Cabrera is healthy, but he's rehabbing down there in the minors, and he has been fucking horrible. And we claimed Chase Lee. Looks whatever, but he's a sidearm extreme ground ball righty. He, in my opinion, couldn't be a playoff spot candidate as a righty specialist, which I know sounds nuts. And what I'm going to do with Chase Lee is because he has an option year left, I'm just going to add him to the 40-man and send him right down to AAA. I think there's a world where not all 5 of these lefties make the playoff roster. It probably is Tanner Banks, who's, off the cut, just because in the playoffs I prefer stuff over everything. Long term, I think, you like the guys like Nastrini that have high home run rates, But in the playoffs, in a one-batter situation, I want a strikeout. I don't want a non-home run, right? I trust the defense over 7 innings, but a one-batter, I'd rather you just get a punchy. Anyway, so that's the thinking there. We are 4 games in a playoff spot. You can see the Angels and the Guardians are fighting it out for the 3rd spot right now. We actually face the Guardians here and in September as well, right at the start. So that's the 2 big series against Cleveland there. We do not see Los Angeles at all. And who are we trying to catch? We are 3.5 games behind the Boston Red Sox, who we face for 4 games in the middle of September. So I'll bring it back for a playoff race chase kind of thing if we have one. So you can see we just had a heck of a month. Pitcher of the month in Nick Nastrini, batter of the month in Louis Bob. Yeah. And as a team, 19-8 in August. That's put us in a pretty good position that we're 5.5 games into a playoff spot, only a half game behind the Red Sox for the number 1 wild card spot. And if you can believe it, only 6.5 games behind the Twins for the AL Central Division lead. They had a terrible August. I don't know. Anything's possible, right? Player development update. Samuel Zavala is developing. I'm excited for him. He'll probably make the majors in some capacity next year, maybe in a Brandon Marsh role. Yeah, so look at that. Chicago right fielder. He hit .343 with 9 home runs. He's on pace for an 8.6 WAR year. He's got an 80 grade fielding in 80 grade right field rating. That doesn't really sound like English to me, but I know it's correct. What a season Louis Bob's having. He must be up for the MVP. I mean, god damn, he leads the league in WAR, leads the league in homers. Soto leads in OBP. Colson's getting on base 39% of the time. And you know who else had a pretty good month for us there? Bryce Terang. He's gotten his season OBP up to 382. August saw him hit 329, 452, 565. Yes, please. So he's going to hit 9th. Pseudo leadoff hitter to give them more ABs, but also give them someone on base to hit in. And we've been pretty lucky on injuries, which, to me is the biggest thing here. We didn't really have any major injuries that month. Ellie had a pretty great month himself. He looks like an unbelievable player in this save. Nick Nastrini, pitcher of the month, his home run rate is developing. 2.35 ERA in that month. You know who else had a pretty good month for us? It's George Kirby. Look at these last 2 starts. 7 shutout, 8 shutout. He's got a 2.5 for us in 8 starts. Pretty happy with that acquisition thus far. Anyways, we didn't get a rookie of the month, so we didn't have a clean sweep, but fuck them. That's what I like to say. Anywho, we have one more month. A month of baseball to play. Obviously, magic number is not really a thing yet, but 21. 14 games above 500. We've even brought back our run differential. We were negative 30 at one point, if you remember. Now we're like almost plus 40. So anything's possible with this team. I'm hoping to push for the playoffs, and once you get in the playoffs, it's a crapshoot. So I will see you for later. Here's our first bit of shite news in a minute. Iverson Arteaga, 2 to 3 weeks with an ankle sprain. We're going to 10-day IL him. Also, you notice this, only 2 days day-to-day. It's fine. Edward Cabrera as well was in the minors for kind of just to prolong his IL stint. We're going to just have him mop up innings. What are we going to do here, however? Let's go forward a day so we can see it better. IKF's going to go play short, and we're going to call up a middle infielder in some capacity. I will figure all that out. I've figured it out. It's Lenyn Sosa. Some good news and some bad news. We'll start with the bad. Isaiah Kiner-Falefa, thumb contusion. He's day-to-day for about a week. We called up Nicky Lopez. Didn't have to send anybody down because of roster expansion. He's kind of just going to take that and fill that role for a week. George Kirby strained his back, giving up back-to-back hits and a start, and then he was out. So that's tough. We won that game, though, because our bullpen is yucky. The outcome of that is they're going to be Kirby's going to have to miss a start, which we're probably going to give to Edward Cabrera, which is fine. It's one start. And why is that fine? Well, we're 7.5 games in a playoff spot. We're now tied for the first wild card spot. We're only 5.5 games behind Minnesota, and we play them right now. Let's just say we sweep this series, which I'll keep you around for the series because it's a big one. We're only 2.5 games back of first place. So let's hope we can find some miracle work here. Nick Nestrini's been very good. Javier Assad's been more than fine. Our pitching is really normalized. We're only 4th in runs against now, still 1st in defense, 7th in runs scored. You can start to see the formation of a core on this team, and it's only taken me about 1.5 years. No big deal. Anyways, let's see how this series goes. Nick Nestrini versus Chris Paddock, which I'm seeing over here, by the way. That's a big 7-1 win. Juan Soto, 2 for 3 with 2 tanks and 2 walks. That makes me pretty horny. I'm not going to lie to you. Nothing on waivers. All right, next game is Davis Martin. Ooh, look, George Kirby might not actually miss a start. We'll see. I have to move this down from 4 to 6 to 4. We'll see. Game 2 is Davis Martin versus Hunter Green, who should give up a lot of home runs. I'm looking for one from you, Kyle Schwarber. He does not hit one, but we win 6-4, as I guess Colson Montgomery didn't get on base for the first time in 30 games. Again, fucked. Nardi got a save. Oh, yeah, that's just a hit. Only 7 hits, but we scored 6 runs, huh? Any tanks? Soto, who hit his 38th. Bryce Terang continues to be an absolute monster down there. What an acquisition that was. David Fry, who's going bonkers in real life now. Pretty good. Father Assad versus Marco Araya, who's got a 6.39 ERA. Come on. Oh, okay, we lose that one. That's fine. Anyways, I will cut back to you guys closer to the end of the season, but you can see we're most probably going to make the playoffs, which is pretty exciting. What I've a son, he's back, which means Nicky Lopez is out of here for now. I will fix up the lineups, but in the meantime, we're playing some more great baseball. Something has clicked on this team. The last 2 months would have combined 30 and 12. 30 and 12! I don't know where that's coming from, but I do not hate it at all. Louis Bob's having his crazy year. Juan Soto's having a crazy year. They've both already hit 100 RBIs. Colson Montgomery is having a pretty great year. He's going to put up 4 WAR in only 120 games. Yes, please. We'll go through a full team recap by the end of the year, but I got a pretty good feeling we're going to be in the playoffs in year 2 with the White Sox, which is fucking exciting. Bringing it back here with some kind of unfortunate news to go along with the great news that we have clinched a playoff spot. I don't think we're going to catch the Twins. We're 3.5 back of them with 4 games to play. But we've clinched the number 1 wild card spot, which means we're going to be playing the least division winning team, I believe. Like the lowest seeded division winning team, maybe? Or no. No. We play the Red Sox then. Okay. The bad news, though, is Pache got hurt about a week ago, and Jordan Leisure just got hurt. I'm really hoping that our injuries can, stay down for these last 3 days of the season. Yeah, Louis Bob had a little day-to-day injury, but he played through it. Not played through it. He got benched for 2 days, but that was fine. Yeah, Leisure, I'm not ILing him because then I'm not going to have him for the first round. We're just going to day-to-day bench him until the playoffs because I don't think we're going to miss too many games with that. So, yeah, I will see you guys at the end of the season, and we'll do a little season recap. With one game left in the season, we have clinched the top wildcard spot, so I'll move forward here with you. We face, somehow, starter Matt Brash. We got JP France. No injuries, please. Wow. Nick Nastrini led the league in wins? 2020 player for Soto for the first time we got. And we're going to the Yoffs. That's pretty cool all around. Jordan, batting title. He's going to win MVP most probably, even though it should be Louis Bob. Acuna, just bonkers year. 6-7 WAR because his fielding is terrible in this game, as it is in real life, by the way. He's a horrific fielder. And he's hurt, so that sucks. But, 1045 OPS, 180 WRC plus is pretty fucking crazy. But we finished 93-69. Now, if you look at the White Sox team history, that's their best season in, oh my God, since 05, since they last won the World Series. And all time, 93 wins is their, 12th, 13th best season ever. And it took me 2 years to get that. We're going to be hitting the hundreds soon, hopefully. Someone has been taken off of my playoff roster. I'm not sure who that is. Let's find out. It is, maybe it's Tyler, it's Davis Martin. Well, we're going to have to take, no, it's Tanner Banks, unfortunately, I think. Even though he was great this year, though. I'm going to have to figure out the playoff roster, but before that, let's do a little league recap. Braves won the NL East with 95 wins. Wasn't really close. Cubs ran away with the Central, 99 wins, and they had a player who might win MVP, who we'll discuss. Padres somehow beat that stacked fucking Dodgers team. Even though I gave Ohtani left field eligibility, this team was not as good as one might think because they were terrible defensively. It's a big thing in baseball, not just in this game, in real life. But, they're still in the playoffs. Duh. In the AL, you see the Rangers win the West. Angels make a wild card spot. Also, it's funny, in the NL, I don't think I see all the wild card teams. Maybe I'm just, stupid. Diamond Phillies? I swear they were not listed as a playoff team. They were not, but they made it. Okay. In the AL, Twins win the Central. We make the playoffs, though. And look at this AL East. First of all, we knew the Rays were going to suck. 104 losses. They're going to, with the first overall pick this past year, they're going to have high odds for another one. But the Yankees lose 100 games? For what? That's got to be the first time ever. No, it's not, but it's been 113 years. What happened? They didn't score. They hit a lot of home runs, but they didn't score. They didn't pitch, and they've had bad defense, and they got a bunch of injuries. Yeesh. Rays, we knew were going to suck. They allowed 922 runs. Yeah, I'm so sure the Tampa Bay Rays allowed 900 runs. They did not call up Basayo, who has not been in the majors yet. I fear he's kind of going to bust a little bit. No homo, no diddy. But the rest of this team, they called up Enrique Bradfield, I believe, at some point. If I can find him, yep. He was dreadful. They have Curtis Mead up, who's a top prospect. Xavier Isaac, who's a top prospect. Carson Williams. This is, again, number one system in ball by a lot. Look at all these top 100 players. They're going to be good for a while soon. Orioles, though, win that division with 100 wins. Best offense in the AL. In the league, though, let's see. Braves, most runs scored in the league. Mets, fewest runs against. A's stole the most bases. That's hilarious. We had the best defense in baseball. That's how I build my teams. Let's see the leaders. AL, Jordan batting title. Oh, Louis Bob tied for it. Oh, he must have been percentage points lower. Does not get highlighted. Jordan, 45 tanks. Goddamn. Whoa, Santander at 132 ribbies. Damn. That's quite a bit. Soto was first and Montgomery was second in OBP. I love that. And we had the top 2 WAR, 2 of the top 4 OPS. Louis Bob was third in slugging, led the league in hits. Soto led the league in runs. That is pretty sexy all around. Louis Bob total bases. Soto walked 143 times. Oh my God. That will do pretty nicely for us. Let's see the NL leaders. It's probably going to be a lot of Ronald. Yep. Wow. Ellie hit 50 with 136 ribbies and 12 triples. Only 15 doubles? What? I'm trying to process this. He had 27 doubles plus triples, which is a small number to begin with, and 12 of those were triples. He had 20 triples last year? Sure. What? Adil Amador. This guy's such a legend of this game. He was a GOAT in my Rockies franchise. Yeah, 420 OBP. I don't know why they're playing him at first and not second, because he's a pretty good defensive second baseman, but whatever. PCA is the guy who I think might win MVP here. Led the league in WAR, played some unreal defense, hit unbelievably. A 147 OPS plus from PCA would be just bonkers if you did that in real life. You know, you got your standard candidates here for the OPS leaders. Jordan Walker is still a monster in this game. Always is, always will be. Can't explain it. Pitching leaders. Let's check out the AL pitching leaders, because Nick Nastrini led the league in wins somehow. And walks. Okay. Not actually that great of a year. 416 FIP. You know, his peripherals aren't great. Not a lot of homers, though, which is why he's there. You know, fourth in ERA is never going to be a bad thing, though. Davis Martin had a bunch of wins. Yeah. Crochet was second in the league in walks, and he only pitched 147 innings. Did that at least come down when he was a reliever? Yeah. You see how much better he was as a reliever? Slashed 1.5 off of his FIP. That's probably where he's going to start next year. And I'm fine with that because, you know, you're paying, basically this is a 6x10 for an elite reliever. I'm cool with that. You know, you can forget about him ever being a starter. Gosman led the league in WAR again. DeGrom strikeouts again. DeGrom whip. You know, this is how we like to have it. Our guys with low BABIPs because we have really good infield defenses. Felix Bautista, a lot of saves. Taj Bradley finished 3-18. The Rays also had the second most losses on a pitcher. Yikes. Michael King is nasty in this game. Marlins must have had a pretty good rotation because Yuri and Sandy are both really good. Alzolay, the closer, led the league in saves. Snell walked 102 guys. That checks out. Let's check out, speaking of, that Marlins rotation. Wow, behind them it was bad, and they did not hit. Cody Bellinger got hurt. How was Willy Adames in his first year there? That's pretty good, I'd say. I don't think I showed this contract in the offseason episode, but look at this contract. 7 by, I'm not doing that math on average, probably like 31-ish. Eloy at first was horrific. At left was horrific. Sorry. Anyways, I don't know why I went to the waiver wire here. Oh, speaking of Andrew Saalfrank, he just got suspended for a year for like betting on baseball. Yikes. Let's find out who we face in the playoffs, even though I know it's the Red Sox, and there it is. We will check them out. Really? Really? Well, we're not going to have Pache for this series, let alone the next series. That's frustrating. I will set up the rotation for the playoffs. It's only going to be a 4-man roto, obviously. And we will check them out next time, and then we will do the playoffs, unless we go all the way to the World Series, in which that will be its own episode. I manually play the games in the playoffs. You'll kind of see how I do that. But anyways, I appreciate y'all for checking this out if y'all do. Let me know how I can improve or what I'm doing well or fucking, I don't know.
Like, subscribe, and comment.
Or whatever people are supposed to say. I don't really care. I'm doing this for fun. But yeah, no, this is the team. I'm pretty happy with it. And we will continue the playoffs next time. Appreciate ya.
Done, no.